So I'm out at the mall in Dallas, the Dallas Galleria, and on the third floor there's this perfume shop that I never heard of. So usually when I'm out, if it's a perfume shop and I've never heard of it or I've never been in, usually I just go to kind of see what kind of selection they have. I walk in and typically they're just like the department stores there. They'll have some of the most popular ones. They may not have the newest fragrances that have been released, but they'll have some of the popular ones. This particular store was just like all the rest, with the exception of one nondescript bottle in the YSL section. The young lady that was helping me was probably 5 foot tall, and so I asked her what was in this nondescript white tester box. She was like, I don't know, but you're gonna make me climb up there and see, right? Yeah, that tester was M7 Fresh. This is the review. This is everything you need to know in 5 pulse points. Pulse point number 1. So YSL put out M7 Fresh, M7 and M7 Fresh when Tom Ford was the creative director of YSL. At the time, Oud wasn't a mainstream note, so he brought that to mainstream. And today you can walk into any mall and find an Oud based fragrance. Back then, not so much. So this was groundbreaking. The fact that you have a fresh version of Oud, even today, brands aren't putting out fresh Ouds. When you think about Oud fragrances that are on the market now, they're very dark, they're rich, and dedicated mostly for cold weather. Nobody's putting out fresh, wearable Oud. So this, just an idea of thinking this is groundbreaking from that perspective. Pulse point number 2. Even though there's Oud in this, it's not all about the Oud. There's a good deal of vetiver in this and citruses, and that citruses and vetiver combo is what makes this wearable. It really comes across, as the name says, fresh, and the Oud makes it unique. Which brings me to pulse point number 3. There's also a good deal of ginger in this. What really makes me like this fragrance is the ginger. One of my favorite fragrances that happened to actually be from YSL's too is Cologne, and this could be the catalyst for Cologne itself. It has that signature ginger note in the mid of Cologne. This could be Cologne's dad. Even though it has that ginger, it still comes across a little mature, a little regal, not dated at all. Again, just because nobody's really making wearable light Ouds. Pulse point number 4. If you saw this out and you were tempted to buy it, why would you buy it? To me, this is professional perfection. If you work in a professional environment, or where you have to wear a tie, a shirt and a tie, this would be absolutely perfect for that. This lasts you all day. Compliments, I got a couple compliments with it. Just a very professional, good smelling scent for the office, in my opinion. This thing is blended so well, it's almost blended too well. And what I mean by that is, I don't think people are gonna smell this and go, oh man, that's really different, because it has this unique note in it. I think the Oud in this is blended so well that I think people probably just won't even recognize that it's a fragrance that came out in 2004. They probably think it's a new release and just run of the mill. This has one of the best sillages, I think, of all my fragrances. You wear this in hour 9, 10, 11, on the way home from work. There's certain ways you will stand or sit or move, and you will get whiffs of this. It doesn't push out. It's typical in the sense that it's a typical spring, summery fragrance by construction, and so it's not a beast mode projection fragrance, but your scent trail will linger in the air when you're wearing this, even when it gets to the dry down, which is pretty impressive. So final take with this is when I purchased it, it was around 80 bucks, which is still kind of retail. It's probably, if you find this online, it's probably in the high hundreds, probably low 200s now, just because it's getting harder and harder to find. In my opinion, for the regular Joe, you can find other fragrances that do this at a cheaper price. For a lot of people, I'll probably say buy L'Homme over this if you're just a regular guy trying to smell good. I would say this is a fragrance for collectors only. I think they'll appreciate not only the history, but the fact that this was released in 2004, the fact that it's a wearable oud, and that's not current. Even, what is it, 14 years later, people still aren't making wearable oud. So yeah, I would say this is for collectors only. Yeah, one of my personal favorites out of my collection, and I don't wear it a lot, just because this is the only one I'm gonna get. So I don't wear a whole lot of that, but when I do, I really enjoy it. That's it for this episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Compliments, I got a couple compliments with it.